Welcome into Rick Renner, Texas High School Hysteria, powered by Ford. Ford is the best in Texas. Subscribe now and follow on YouTube, Twitter, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Odyssey, or any of your favorite streaming platforms. And never miss an episode. Joining me now, a man that led the Lancaster Tigers all the way to state, a former Texas High School Player of the Year, TCU superstar, and a perennial all Big 12 player, and now a Dallas Mavericks rookie in his own hometown. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mike Miles Jr. How you doing there, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. So good to see you. You know, you've always been one of my favorites. How cool is it for you to play your entire basketball career in the DFW Metroplex?
It's crazy. It's kind of like it's out of a movie. I've been here 21 years. I just turned 21 in August, so I've been here all my life, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. This the city that raised me and made me who I am. So it's only right that I get to play in the NBA and stay in my hometown and play in front of everyone I've been playing in front of.
I know you as such an unbelievable, dominating high school player. I always thought it was the strangest thing that you were ranked 179th in the nation coming out of high school. I don't know who's doing the rankings, but they are way off. And of course, you rose to the preseason all Big 12 Player of the Year. You would have won it if it wasn't for injury. I feel as though the Mavericks got a steal getting you. How do you feel about it?
I feel like everything happens for a reason. Obviously the injury I had that caused me to miss 5 games kind of put me out of the Big 12 Player of the Year. I feel like I would have won it if I didn't miss those games too. But everything happens for a reason. I went undrafted and I get to stay in my hometown. So everything happens for a reason, man. I try not to question anything. Everything has a reason behind it, and I'm just following the path that I got. Everybody's path is different. Nobody has the same story, and my story is different, but it's a good story. So I wouldn't have it any other way.
How about putting on that Mavericks jersey for your hometown team? How special has this been for you?
Man, it's the craziest feeling. Growing up, you always dream about going into the NBA if you play basketball, or any pro sport any sport that you play, you dream about going pro in that sport, but you don't necessarily dream about playing for your hometown team. You don't think it's gonna happen that way because the draft is so unpredictable. But I'm here, it's a story that I feel like was written for me already. I feel like everything that happens in any order is supposed to happen to me, and I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful they took a chance on me, and I'm ready.
You've always been a guy that's done big things in the community. There was a great story over the summer where a DeSoto football player, Fabian Valad, was a kid that couldn't even afford clothes, couldn't afford sneakers. And he was just out there at a Sam's Club helping people with their groceries, trying to get some money. And an angel gave him $20, posted about him and what a good kid he was on Facebook. Your mom saw it, and then it led to you. Tell me about that.
So yeah, like you said, the story, he was out in front of the store, trying to help people with their groceries, for money. And the woman actually tried to say she'll give him more, but he didn't want it. He just wanted to work for it. She said she could give him the money. He doesn't have to do it, but he wanted to work for it. And my mom saw the story. She came to me, and it kind of touched me, because I was, I want to work for everything. A lot of people want to just be handed stuff, and, that's not how the world works. You got to work for everything you've gotten. So it kind of touched me because, I was in that position where I wasn't as fortunate as a lot of people. And, I couldn't necessarily buy the shoes that I wanted like other people. So it kind of touched me, and I just wanted to help him, man, because I wish when I was in that position, someone would have did that for me. So when she told me about the story, I just told her, let's get him some shoes, let's get him some clothes, and let's get him set up, because the story was so touching and so heartfelt to me that, I wanted to show him love and just give back like I would have wanted someone to give back to me at that time.
I know when you announced where you were going to college coming out of high school, it touched me watching that video. It was one of the coolest videos I've ever seen of a kid announcing where his intentions were going to the college level. You talked about growing up in the Highland Hills area, in the Mesquite area, and how it made you tougher in life. And for many, people make bad decisions. You chose basketball and got out. How much has that community shaped you, you think?
Well, I actually don't know why people say Mesquite. I'm from Highland Hills, Oak Cliff. I'm not from Mesquite, but I can see where you can get it mixed up. It's kind of close together. But to answer your question, man, it kind of made me who I am. It's hard to it's hard to make it out of that place, and even Mesquite or any place, that's down south of Dallas it's hard, you know, it's tough. You got to really stay focused, and it's easy to go and do the wrong thing because so many people that you're growing up with are going to do that. So for me, it was all about trying to stay focused. You know, I knew where my talents was. I knew where I wanted to end up. I knew I didn't want to be in that place forever. So that's what drove me. And seeing my mom get up and go to work every morning, you know, it kind of drove me to want to get out of that place, you know, and not take the left turn. I wanted to go right. You know, I wanted to keep straight and just go with my life. You know, go what I know I'm passionate about. And for me, that was sports. You know, it was basketball, football. You know, just whatever to get my mind and get me out of that place. It was that, and I'm here now.
Did it give you you're such a strong-willed player and you're so driven and you just have so much motivation to be the best that you can be? Do you think it's that environment that created that?
Definitely. You know, it definitely made me who I am as a basketball player, not only as a man. It definitely made me tougher. It made me want to go out there and work, you know, and not try to take a shortcut, you know, try to earn everything that I want to get, that I want for me. And, you know, that definitely made me who I am. It made me tough in life and made me tough in basketball, you know. And you go to the park where I grew up, you ain't getting too many fouls. So you just got to play through it. So that's something that always stuck with me. And that's how I play now. You know, I try not to foul, but you know, I play hard. I go hard every time I'm on the court just to show like this is where I'm from. This is how I play, and I feel like I do that.
Yeah, you know, when you play in college at TCU and your big games against Kansas or whoever, you're probably like, that's nothing compared to what I was dealing with back in the days of my hood.
Yeah, facts. It was definitely a lot harder, a lot of more fouls, a lot of no calls back where I'm from. So, you know, it's kind of when you grow up playing that way, it's kind of easy to, you know, play that way when you got refs and, you know, they kind of now it's kind of softer. They call a little more touch foul. So, you know, growing up how I grew up, it definitely makes it a lot easier to play through contact now.
You're going to take advantage about that, no doubt about that, in the NBA. You know, I look back to your high school days at Lancaster and what you were able to accomplish there. The administrators always talk about how much they loved you. You were such a loved player there. What did Webo Nation mean to you?
For me, man, it's all about family. You know, once you step into Lancaster, no matter if you go there 1 year or all 4 years, it's all you always welcome back. You know, it's just a loving environment there. You know, all the administrators, all the coaches, no matter what sport, they support each other. You know, it's all love. You know, and even when I go back now, you know, they kind of overdo it. You know, they kind of make me feel like I'm I'm bigger than what I am. But you know, it's they're just proud of me, and you know, that's you know, going back to Lancaster and go back to where I grew up, everyone is just proud of me. That's why I'm glad I get to stay in Dallas. I can go back and give back. You know, go and watch games at TCU and Lancaster. So, man, it's all about a family environment. I feel like in high school and college, I chose the most perfect schools for me. I feel like I couldn't chose a better school.
Yeah, you think about those Tigers, man, that team in 2020, 36-1, you make it to the state tournament. Unfortunately, they cancel the state championship weekend because of COVID. Does that still eat at you a little bit? Because, boy, that team was so good. There was no doubt you were going to win the title.
Yeah, it does, mainly because of what you said. I knew we were going to win. You know, the level we were playing at that year and the level I was playing at, you know, I feel like no one could beat us. You know, and we were down there, we were confident, and we got the call, and it hurt. It hurt then. It hurts even more now. You know, me and Wade Taylor still talk about it. You know, they took one away from us. You know, we still got the ring, but it don't feel the same, really, than actually getting it, winning the game, and being the only team that gets a ring. But you know, I definitely feel like we were going to win, and it definitely still eats at me. I wish I could go back, change COVID, and, you know, at least a month or two later so we could finish, play the games and be state champions. But I found some comfort knowing we would have won. So.
You brought up Wade Taylor. Of course, he's doing big things at Texas A&M. I think about that backcourt with you and him together. That might be arguably the greatest backcourt we've ever seen in state history. You feel that way?
Yeah, for me, I'm obviously biased because it's me and Wade is still now we talk every day. He's one of my closest friends, and I feel like we probably do have a little competition with Tyrese Maxey and Chris Harris at South Garland. They were a good backcourt, but I feel like that's the only competition we'll kind of have, and I feel like me and Wade got the edge. You know, they were good. Don't get me wrong, they were great, but I feel like me and Wade we got the edge.
I think about some of the guys you've played with. It's been amazing. I mean, those Titans AAU teams, I mean, gosh, those were like Olympic gold medal teams. You and Cade Cunningham together, of course, who did big things at Oklahoma State and then was the #1 pick overall in 2021 by the Detroit Pistons. Tell us about some of those battles you would have with him in practice.
Yeah, me and Kay, man, anytime we're on the court together against each other, we always guard each other. You know, that's our friendship. That's my best friend. We've been that way since fourth grade coming on up. And I definitely miss him. I talk to him every day. And he was actually the first person to text me, like, right after the news came out that I signed with the Mavs. He was the first person to text me. Like, while I was reading it, he texted me. So, man, that just shows our friendship, our bond. And, we hooped against each other this past summer, and it was still the same. We guarded each other. We were talking a little bit of stuff, but it's all love, man. We're competitive against each other because we don't want we want to win against each other. So it's, I feel like that's a sign of a good friendship. We're competitive when we're against each other, but that's my best friend, man. We could not talk for a year, and when we get around each other, it's like we've talked every day. So I can't say enough good things about him, man. I love him dearly. That's my best friend, and hopefully he was hurt last year, so we didn't get to see everything he was about. So, but this year, I feel like he's going to really show people he was the number one. Why he was the number one pick.
Down the line, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch those battles between the Mavericks and the Pistons when you two get together. So who owns the lifetime series between the two of you guys?
If I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah.
One year he left me in AAU. I'm still kind of mad at him about that for leaving me one year. And he went to Drive Nation, and we played each other, and he won that game. But in college, I beat him twice. So I'm 2-1 against him, so I'm winning.
All right, we're going to have to check that with him when we get a chance and make sure that stays up. Yeah. Well, another guy you played on with one of those Titans AAU teams was Greg Brown, who was a superstar. He was the number 1 overall recruit coming out of the state of Texas, out of Vandergrift in the greater Austin area. How about the fact that you two are reunited here in the Mavs organization?
Man, that's why I feel like it was all just written. Everything was happening how it was supposed to happen. This being his 3rd year and signing with us, and me signing here too after the draft is, I feel like I can't say enough good things about Greg either. We still have the bond from AAU. That's one of my closest friends. We talk every day. Obviously, we ride together. That's just my guy, man. I can't say enough good things about him either. We all know what the player he is, athletic. A lot of energy, rebound, block shots, and he's just fun to play with. A highlight reel anytime he's on the court, and just an even better person. I think that's the main thing, man. It's a lot of good basketball players, but not a lot of good people. And Cade and Greg, man, they're just great people. They're great friends. They look out for you. They love me, and I love them. So, it's just I feel like everything right there how it's supposed to. I'm here with Greg. It feels like AAU, so we're having fun.
I think about your TCU days, and nobody celebrates with the fans more than you. How are you able to build that connection with them? Because all I think about is those crazy pictures and celebrations of you with the fans. No one enjoyed that more than you.
Yeah, I mean, it was, that was part of the reason why I went to TCU, to change the environment, and to change the culture, and to bring a winning mentality and a winning spirit to the program, and not only the basketball program, but the school in general. And I feel like I did that. I feel like I left a pretty good mark. I obviously could have done more, but I feel like not only myself, obviously I had teammates, but raising the program, raising the level of anything, just raising the level of the school. Honestly, just everyone wants to come there now. They're getting big time transfers, and that wasn't happening before I was there. So it was definitely great though. Like I said, it's a family environment. That's why I enjoyed celebrating with the fans so much. And they loved me. I texted them. They all had my number. I was an open book for all of them. I always wanted to communicate with them because they were just as important as us on the court. It's good to have a home court advantage, especially when you're playing Kansas, Texas, Baylor teams like this. So, and Eddie, I will say Eddie, me and Eddie did a great job with the fans, fan engagement, just being like, not seeing us as athletes, but as people. I feel like that was the biggest thing, going to class, being around the campus, going to school events, and, it was amazing. I can't say enough good things about TCU.
Amen.
Well, I know a lot of Frog fans just turned into Maverick fans if they weren't before, because you're going to be playing for them. It's going to be so much fun for them to go over to the other side of the Metroplex and check you out. You're one of those guys that always lives for the moment. There are a lot of guys that play basketball. They shy away from those big moments in big points of the game down the stretch that can make you a winner or a loser. What is it about those big moments that you embrace it more so than anybody else?
Honestly, I feel like I've always been like that. I don't feel like that's something you can learn. I feel like as an athlete, being a big time player in big time moments is something, that just comes naturally. You know, some people got it, some people don't, to put it in the simplest way. And, you know, I like to feel like I got it. You know, I like the big moments. I like the big shots, big games, primetime games. You know, I feel like that's what I live for. You know, I feel like we've been practicing and working hard. These are the moment and for this moment, you know, so that's how I feel when them moments come. And like I said, it's not something you can learn. It's not something you can teach. It's just either you got it or you don't. And, you know, when the big moments come, I shine, you know, to put it in the simplest way. I feel like I step up, I get even better in those big moments.
There's a great meme that says, Mike, Miles Jr. just obliterated your team, and you got those crazy frog eyes going on. Are you like an action hero out there? What's going on?
I feel like they love me, you know. I can't. That's the only thing I can say. They appreciate me, and I feel like it's more than just me being a good basketball player. I feel like everyone there knows what I did for the school, you know. And obviously, big ball football did a big thing, you know. Obviously, the season they had, and you know, I don't play football, but none of that happened before I got there. They had good seasons in football before, but not like they had last year. And you know, I feel like that just changed the entire look on TCU now. Everywhere you see us on ESPN, you see us on all these big time shows and, you know, sports channels, and we're playing on them. You know, we're playing big time teams, and, you know, we made the tournament 2 times in a row. They've never done that in the school history. So I feel like more than just me being a good athlete, man, everyone appreciates me and everyone loves me for what I was able to bring to the school.
You look at Jamie Dixon, what a special guy he is, an unbelievable coach, incredible track record. Of course, he played at TCU. What did he mean to you as far as being the basketball player that you are today? And what did you learn the most from him?
Man, the thing I feel like I learned the most from Coach Dixon was being a leader. You know, in high school, I was the leader, but I was more of a show by example leader. I wasn't exactly the more talkative, you know, leader. But once I got there, he told me I was the point guard. I don't have no choice but to talk. So, you know, from that point forward, I tried to get better. And year after year, he stayed on me, and I got better at it. And, you know, Coach Dixon helped me. You know, helped me with so many things. He made me a better player, a better man. You know, he cares about you. You know, he cares about you on the court, off the court, your family. He talks to you, he texts you, he calls you, and he's just like to have conversations. And you know, he's one of the smartest basketball coaches I've ever played for. But he's a good person. You know,
What about that experience when you guys went to the World Cup, the under 19 team, and you were able to win gold? You know, you got a lot of national and international notoriety from all that. How about doing that experience alongside your college coach?
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. That's another thing. He made my name bigger. You know, he got my name more out there, and you know, him being the coach, it made me more comfortable. And some people think I made the team just because he was the coach, but if you were at the training camps, I was the best player at the camps to make the team. So even if he wasn't the coach, I feel like I would have made the team. But the fact that he was, and the fact that he was somebody I was used to, and you know, used to talking to and used to playing for, it made it that much easier. And I can't thank him enough for putting me in that position to succeed and, you know, winning gold. A lot of people can't say they're a gold medalist. So I got that above a lot of people that play basketball. So, you know, it's just a great feeling. You know, he made me experience life more.
Doing that and doing that against amazing elite players from all over the world, does it give you even more confidence as you embark on your NBA career now?
Yeah, we played a lot of pro players over there. You know, we played Victor in the championship. You know, so a lot of people can't say they've played him before. So I played him before a lot of people, and you know, we played. He had on Canada team. They had Ben Matherin for the Pacers. So, you know, we saw a lot of people, a lot of good players. You know, Dyson Daniels, who's on the Pelicans now, he was there. So it was a lot of players who ended up being pros, and obviously the guys on my team, Kennedy Chandler, Kenny Lofton, Chet, Jaden Ivey. So it was a great experience, man, playing against pro players and playing with players, and it just made my life easier. It was a ton of fun.
You know, I look back at when you were a fourth grader, we knew that there was greatness. There's that world famous YouTube video where you just tearing people up. They called you the elementary school version of Allen Iverson and that unbelievable crossover you had back then. When you see that video, what do you think about today as you saw how you were so much better than everybody else around you? And why do you think you were able to separate from all the other kids?
If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't really know why I was so much better than a lot of people. Like I said, basketball was a talent I was just sort of born with. You know, obviously I worked at it, but when you're that young, you don't really know what working hard means or really working out means. So it was all kind of just God given, you know, just God given ability. And, you know, the little working I did do on it, it made me be even better. So I like to joke and say I was in my prime when I was around that age, and you know, it was fun. You know, I can still vividly remember when the video first came out, when I went to the news for the video, and it was kind of surreal because I was only 9 years old when the video came out. So it was a lot of pressure, a lot of attention for a 9-year-old, but not only a 9-year-old, someone who didn't like being in the light, who liked to just be by himself and just, you know, not to be out and about, you know, just being by himself. So it was different, but it made me ready for now. You know, I'm doing interviews. I've been doing interviews since I was 9. So that's why I'm so good at it now, and just, you know, just steady getting better as a man. And those videos back then definitely helped me.
Well, I know your mom has been very instrumental in everything in your life, and she never misses a game. She has a different shirt or outfit for every single game. And now I'm thinking about the NBA. That's 82 games and at least 16 in the playoffs when you win a championship. That is a lot of outfits, isn't it?
It is. It's definitely a lot of outfits now. I don't think she's gonna make every game now because the NBA schedule is it's a little tough during the week games, on the road games. So I don't think she's gonna make every game now, but definitely she's definitely gonna be at every home game. She's not gonna miss a home game. So, you know, she's gonna be there. You're gonna see her, you're gonna know exactly who she is. She's gonna have on a jersey, you know, she's gonna be loud, she's gonna be cheering. So yeah, man, I can't, that's my mom, man. I can't, she's so inspirational. She's so loving. She's a mom. You know, she's the best mom I could ask for. The mom that was perfect for me. So I couldn't ask for anybody else, man. I wouldn't. You know, I love her. She loves me, and we've got a bond. You know, it's me and her against the world almost. I love her. She's my rock, and you know, she pushes me every day.
I know she works for the great Charlotte Jones of the Jones family and the Dallas Cowboys. Charlotte's kind of been like an aunt to you. Talk a little bit about that relationship.
Yeah, Charlotte is like a godmother almost, man. I met her when I was in 4th grade, around before the video came out. Her son was on the team with me, and was all the way through till our last summer. So she's been there every step of the way too, just like my mom, man. She's the same way. You know, she views me as her son, even though she doesn't have to. She helps me. She calls me. She texts me. You know, she was at the announcement when I announced I'm entering the draft. She was there crying, you know, and I thanked her in my letter, and you know, it was for a reason. She's been there every step of the way from, and
And
it
her
made my
son Paxton's a heck of a football player. He's now at the University of Texas after a great career with the Highland Park Scots.
Yeah. So that whole family, man, is just they're amazing people. You know, they took a kid that was unfortunate. You know, wasn't as fortunate as them. Was from a whole different place from them, like 45 minutes away, and they let me spend a night at their house. They fed me, man. I can't say enough for what that family did for me.
Unbelievable. Well, tell me about your workout plan. How much do you work out? How many shots do you put up during the week? And how do you come up with all the moves that you do?
So most of the moves I come up with is more off a reaction. You know, I'm more of a reaction type of player. I try not to plan out what I'm gonna do. I'm reacting and just trying to get what I can get, you know, not trying to force anything. But I work hard, you know, in practice we get up shots. You know, I was shooting after practice just then before I came in here. So it's all about repetition. You know, it's all about staying confident in your shot. And the only way to be confident is to put up the shots. So, you know, I'm working, you know, especially playing with Luka and Kyrie, you're gonna have a lot of space. You're gonna have opportunity to shoot the ball, open shots. So I'm just working, you know, getting ready for that and trying to be ready when my moment comes.
I think about high school. You scored 2,000 points there, 1,000 points at TCU in Fort Worth. You've always been a guy that has proven people wrong. How have you been able to do that?
And like I said, just being confident, you know, knowing the type of player I am. You know, some people view my size or, you know, something like that as a weakness for me. But when people actually see me in person, they realize I'm not a small guard. Like I'm 6'2", but I'm built a little bit. So just being confident, man, just knowing that I'm here for a reason. You know, I've been doing this my whole life, you know, and I've been playing it at a high level my whole life. You know, I've been all over the world, got a gold medal. So just knowing who I am and knowing the player I am and knowing the work I put in and being confident that's the best. That's the biggest thing for me.
I know you've always been known for all your superstitions. One of them is left shoe, left sock, left shoe, then right sock, right shoe. Are you still going to be doing that stuff with the Mavericks? Because you don't want all those veterans seeing that stuff, right?
Yeah, I might still do it. You know, well, I probably am gonna do it. You know, and if they ask, I'll just tell them. And you know, I don't know if I ever told you the story, but the story behind it was my freshman year. I did it against Leak, and I think I actually have told you the story. And I had 30. So after that, and that was as a freshman. So after that, I just until all the way up until this point, I've always done it. And I've not always had 30, but it works more than it doesn't work. So we're gonna keep doing it.
Hey, man, if it works, do it, right?
Yeah,
You just got to be
exactly.
careful. Don't let the veterans see you doing all these weird superstitions. Now, what is your favorite food? Because I have heard stories about how you are an interesting eater.
Yeah, I'm very diverse in my choices of food, but my favorite food is probably pasta, chicken and shrimp, or any kind of, Cajun pasta. If we go to a restaurant, if they got a Cajun pasta, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get a Cajun pasta. So, just pasta is the best thing. I eat a lot of different things, but I've been trying to really watch what I eat a little bit. But I don't think I can give up pasta. That's just something that's always always gonna do it for me.
Yeah, because I heard stories at TCU that they were just trying to get you to eat before a game, and you wouldn't eat,
Yeah,
and yet you would still go out there and score 25, 30 points. So they're like, well, whatever he's doing's working.
yeah, that's another stupid superstition I have. Like I don't eat on game days. I don't know why. Now if it's like a late game, like 8 o'clock, I get a little snack, some fruit, PB&J, a little sandwich or something. But I can't eat full meals on games that on days that we play. And I don't know why I'm like that. For some reason, it just feels heavy on my stomach every time. So I like to feel fresh. I like to feel loose when I'm out there on the court. So I just don't eat. I might eat some fruit, or something like that. But it works for me. So a lot of every person has something different that works for them, and it works for me. So we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, you look lean and mean, you look good in that uniform, no doubt about that. Well, we've talked about some of the inspirations in your life, and I know your siblings have been very big in all of this. Talk about your brother, because I know your brother, he is a big reason why you even chose basketball in the first place.
Yeah, so growing up, my sport was football. I started playing football. I played basketball at the same time, but I was better at football. And but going to my brother would play both, but he was better at basketball. So I would always go to his tournaments. Be in the gym all day with him from 8 to whatever time the tournament was over, and we'll just be there. I'll be watching him play, and that's when I really first fell in love with basketball. I would go out at halftime and shoot the ball. And he's another reason why I am how I am, why I play so tough. He didn't never let little brother win. You know how the little sibling rivalries go. He was tough on me even when I was little. He never let me win, and then I finally got to an age where I could beat him. Now he won't play me anymore. But
Of course, of
yeah.
course.
Yeah, so but my brother, man, he's amazing. He actually just started training for basketball. So, he's back into the sport, and I'm happy for him. He's a big reason why I am who I am, the man and the player. So I appreciate him a lot.
When you put on that Mavs uniform for your hometown team and then you show up at practice and you see Luka Doncic in real life for the first time, and you're like, wow, I'm playing with this guy, one of the greatest basketball players in the world. What was that whole thing like in your head?
So the first day he came, it was he walked in, he said, "What's up?" I didn't realize how tall he actually was. I knew he was 6'8", but he's really 6'8". Like sometimes they lie about the height a little bit, but he's honestly really 6'8", and he's like 240. So, it was kind of surprising to see how big he was actually in person, and just seeing him. But not only him and Kyrie. I haven't told Kyrie this yet, but I remember the first year he was drafted, I used him on 2K every single time. The Cavs weren't even good, but I just used him for Kyrie because he was so good on the game. And I remember watching the finals when he hit the 3 over Steph, and just finally being here with them, and just trying to learn from them. It's surreal, just watching guys and watching them when I was growing up, and I watched the draft when Luka got drafted, and it's just surreal finally being here, seeing those guys up close and personal, how they go about the work, how they go about the day, and just trying to learn as much as I can from them.
And what an experience over the summer playing in the summer league. You get to play under a Mavs legend in Tyson Chandler, who is a part of the whole coaching stuff there, and a guy who was very instrumental in a big piece in the 2011 Mavs championship team. What was that experience like playing under him?
It's been good. He calls me Junior. He doesn't call me Mike. Anytime he see me, he yells out Junior. And man, he has energy like he's out there on the court. You see him every practice. He's cheering guys on. He's clapping. He's yelling. And he's done an incredible job with D Live. D Live has got Derek Lively. We call him D Live. He was already good, but he's gotten even so much better in the little time he's been working with Tyson. And you can tell why he was the starting center and won their championship year. The way he goes about it, even though he's not even playing, he still lifts with us. He's just very, very interacting, very like hands-on, and he talks to everyone. He tries to coach everyone. He's very inspirational, very encouraging. So definitely glad to have him a part of the staff.
So what do you think's been the biggest difference getting to the league now compared to college?
I don't feel like I've had a difference quite yet. Now, the summer league, I would say it's a lot faster because of the shot clock. It's only 30 seconds in college, 24 in pros. So I would say only about the 24-second shot clock and how fast the game goes and how quick shots gets up. I feel like that's the only biggest difference for me. But obviously, once we get to the season and I get caught up, and I'm probably going to feel the strength of those older guys. That's probably going to be a big difference. But I haven't got there yet. But so far, though, how fast the game is the biggest difference for me.
Well, Mike, you've always been one of my big favorites. I'm so darn proud of you. It's so awesome to have you in a Mavericks uniform. We can't wait to see what you do. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yes, sir. Of course, always. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for checking out Rick Renner, Texas High School Hysteria. Make sure you subscribe and never miss an episode. You can catch us on YouTube, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and Odyssey, or any of your favorite streaming platforms. Tune in and we will see you soon.